Happy morning. Happy morning. These proceedings will now come to order. Please be seated.
Chairman Goddard, trustees, honored guests, alumni, faculty, relatives and friends of our graduates, and of course, all members of the Emory community. It's my great privilege to welcome you to Emory's 174th commencement. Please join me in a special welcome to the most important people here today, our 2019 Emory graduates. Congratulations to all. Graduations are a privilege for all of us. They give us a moment to reflect on the past, to honor the present, and to look ahead to the future. Graduates, you made it. You would know this. You completed all your requirements. You gave your very best. You are here and you are ready. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education, the life of the mind, is fundamental to human rights. It's the key to equality, to fighting poverty, to creating health and well-being for all. Graduates, use your education. It's the most powerful tool you have to change the world, your world, the world close to home, and the world far away, as well as the world into the future, a better world that we cannot even begin to imagine today. At this time, I invite you to stand as you are able for the playing of the national anthem by the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Brass Quintet. An American flag flies from the pole in the center of the quadrangle. Thank you. Please be seated for the invocation delivered by Dr. Robert Franklin, the James T. and Berta R. Laney Professor of Moral Leadership in the Candler School of Theology. Dr. Franklin.
May we assume a posture of prayer. Gracious One, who is the source and end of all our days, on the pulse of this new morning, we offer thanks for Emory University. We give thanks for a visionary president, a wise board, energized senior leadership, dedicated faculty and diligent staff, proud alumni and generous donors, and above all, our incandescent graduates surrounded by their families. We who have been privileged to be part of this great institution accept the responsibility to carry out its mission of service to humanity, to think, to teach, to heal, to challenge, and to improve our world. As we gather in our dazzling diversity, we believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., 50 years now removed, smiles upon this great gathering as a snapshot of the beloved community. We are Emory, a community of inquiry and ethical commitment. Good people from every faith or from no religious practice, but all loyal to the reign of reason and truth. Today, our divided nation and our fragmented world yearn for the kind of critical minds and caring hearts that have been nurtured in those who are graduating today. Our hearts are heavy for the lives that have been lost this year to hate-based violence. May we replace it with faith-based respect and compassion. Bless our republic with fortitude and resilience, as our graduates have been blessed. Help us to remember the words of Alexis de Tocqueville, that the greatness of America lies not in being more enlightened than any other nation, but in her ability to repair her faults. May we as scholars, teachers, and future leaders of every sort have the wisdom to bring our people together. Let not the divisions of worldview and opinion obscure the force of reason and empathy. Help us to engage our hearts and minds to enlighten and repair. Most of all, as we give thanks for these graduates and all who are being honored today, we pray that they will continue to inspire us and, in the words of Anna Julia Cooper, lift as they climb. Finally, God of light and truth, may we heed the words of Rabbi Maimonides, who reminds us that the world is equally balanced between good and evil, and our next act will tip the scale. May we always act wisely to tip the scale for the good. These things we pray in the name of all that is most holy. Amen.
Emory graduates of 2019. That sounds good, doesn't it? As I look out, I feel the power of your regalia. I note that some of you took the liberty of decorating your caps. They look quite nice. I can see it well from here. Today, we honor all that you have achieved with the ceremony you have earned. So let's take a moment and reflect. Your years at Emory were filled with outstanding accomplishments. You demonstrated an amazing dedication. You were driven by intellectual curiosity and motivated by high ambition. I will always remember our conversations about how to get the most out of your Emory experience, how to finish your work on time so that you would graduate, how to hold on to the friendships you developed, how to believe in the future, and how to achieve your dreams. I also admire the difficult questions you asked. What matters most for my life? What matters most for all our lives? How do I reconcile those two questions? Those are not easy questions, nor questions with only one correct answer. Graduates, some of you also shared experiencing feelings that come when everything in your life is up in the air, not quite knowing what comes next. And I know that several of you can relate to that. Others among you were pleased to tell me that you have the future all planned out. Not just planned out, you got it planned out perfectly. But no matter what your plans are, the path ahead of you will remain open to possibilities. And yes, That openness requires courage as well as imagination. I observed that courage and imagination among Emory's alumni. Their sense of purpose and meaning is inspiring, as is their shared commitment to making the world a better place. Graduates of 2019, you have already demonstrated many of those qualities. Your eagerness to discover, your sense of purpose, your commitment to positive transformation. Indeed, the future is unpredictable, but I can tell you this, I am convinced that you, the class of 2019, will find your way. Continue asking yourself, what matters most? Have confidence in yourself. Your Emory experience has prepared you. Years ago, when I completed my degree in the Netherlands, I thought that I knew enough. I actually thought I knew everything, that I was ready for everything. But as I began putting my education into practice with people who were sick, with people who were devastated by poverty and illness, I realized that my education was just the beginning, that learning never ends. I still feel this way. We will never know all the answers. We always will need others in our lives. We will continue growing if we remain open to being transformed by our encounters with the world. Now, graduates, you may have noticed that around the commencement time, just about everyone has a piece of advice for you, right? But you don't need more advice. I have such deep confidence in you. You will do more than survive. You will flourish, and the journey is all yours. I ask you to return to Emory, to stay connected to your alma mater. I appeal to you to build a healthier, safer, and more sustainable world than the world in which you were born. To a world that we must steward for generations to come. To a world that must not lose sight of serving humanity. We owe that to each other. As you leave this place, you join an august company of close to 149,000 Emory alumni spread throughout the world. We are honored to have with us today a special band of those alumni who have demonstrated in their lives and careers the legacy of virtue and knowledge. The Corpus Cordis Aureum, Latin for the corpse of the heart. Clad in golden robes with specially commissioned medallion, these alumni are members of the 50th reunion class, as well as classes that graduated prior to 1969 from Emory. Ladies and gentlemen of the Corpus Cordis Aureum, would you please stand and allow us to appreciate and recognize you? You may be seated. Thank you. Now, graduates, you may be interested in a few facts about yourself. 4,927, that's a lot, right? 4,927 degrees and certificates will be conferred this day. 39% of these to men, 61% to women. "52 states and U.S. territories are represented among our graduates. 794 of today's graduates come from more than 71 countries, all of whose flags are on display at either ends of the quadrangle. Another point of pride, 55% of the Emory College degree candidates, those of you sitting right here, graduate with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Congratulations. The youngest candidate to complete a bachelor's degree this year is 19 years old. Congratulations. Receiving a degree in neuroscience and behavioral biology. The oldest degree candidate overall is 70 years old. Receiving a Juris Master's degree from the law school. All of you graduates, through your exuberance, make us feel young this day. Students who have garnered honors and prizes are listed on pages 36 through 51, that's a lot of pages because there are a lot of honors, of your program book. On page 35 is a list of those students who merit special attention by having earned 2 degrees simultaneously, a bachelor's and a master's. Yeah, you may applaud yourselves. A bachelor's and a master's degree, 2 master's degree, or a master's and a doctoral degree during their time at Emory. Would the 94 recipients of these simultaneous degrees please stand? And would you please join me in congratulating them? And I also need a round of applause to keep all of us have the blood flowing for the winners of all honors and prizes. Representing the many honors garnered by outstanding students and faculty members, 3 university-wide honors will be presented during today's ceremony. Details of the accomplishments of these 3 special award winners can be found starting on page 4 of your program. Symbolic of all honors bestowed on students by the university is the Marian Luther Britton Service Award, an expression of gratitude for service that is performed without expectation of reward or recognition. To present this award, I call on Interim Vice President of Campus Life, Paul Marters.
Thank you, Madam President. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2019 Marian Luther Britton Service Award to Klamath Louise Henry. Would Klamath's family please stand to be recognized with her? A graduating senior in the college majoring in anthropology with a minor in environmental science, Klamath Henry has been an engaged scholar, a campus leader, and an advocate for contributions and history of Indigenous people. She worked selflessly and tirelessly along with campus administrators to organize and lead the first Native American Indigenous Students Symposium. As a champion of this effort, she was successful in bringing experts from around the country to campus to explore how Emory and other institutions can better support Native American student populations. The symposium led to an ongoing work to recruit Native American students and to Emory to work on developing the curriculum in this area. Reflecting her diverse interests, Klamath worked with the Piedmont Park Conservancy as an environmental camp instructor, and she penned weekly articles on sustainability and ecology. She was actively involved in residence life as a member of a Residence Hall Association and in athletics as a member of the varsity softball team. And I just learned while she's working on a master's in anthropology, she will also be coaching softball at a Division I program. Among her many accolades, Klamath is the recipient of the Department of Anthropology's Junior of the Year Award in 2018. She is a member of the 100 Senior Honorary Class, and she is being recognized by the Center for Women as a 2019 Graduating Woman of Excellence. I am honored to let a wider audience know today how proud we are of Klamath for what she has done and for all she has certainly yet to achieve. Congratulations, Klamath.
The Exemplary Teacher Award gratefully acknowledges the long and patient work of a member of the Emory University faculty. To present that award, I call on Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dwight McBride. As Provost McBride comes forward, would previous winners of this honor please stand to be recognized?
Madam President, it gives me great pleasure to present the 2019 Exemplary Teacher Award to Mary Jo Lekowitz. You may applaud. Yes. Dr. Lekowitz is a professor and vice chair for education in the Department of Hematology and Medical Oncology in the School of Medicine. Additionally, she is the Margaret H. Wallens Chair in Cancer at the Winship Cancer Institute and advisor and leader of the Osler Society as part of Emory's undergraduate medical education. Unparalleled researcher, inspiring teacher, and leading expert in oncology, Dr. Mary Jo Lekowitz is one of Emory's most nationally and internationally acclaimed professors. Her distinguished career is a roadmap of the recent progress scientists and physicians have made understanding and developing therapies for HIV-related Hodgkin's lymphomas. Through her clinical practice, research, teaching, and collaborations throughout the country, Dr. Lekowitz has improved awareness, outcomes, and knowledge of virally related T-cell lymphomas. She treats patients in Emory's Winship Cancer Institute's Bone Marrow Transplant Division, where she is recognized for being able to focus both on the eradication of disease and on her patients' human experiences as they cope with life-threatening illnesses. Dr. Lekowitz represents Emory with tremendous distinction in the classroom, the clinic, and across the globe. She has a passion for teaching at all levels, including sharing her knowledge and clinical approach with medical students, residents and fellows, and faculty colleagues. Her students and colleagues describe her as kind, genuine, and sensitive. She was elected the doctor whom you would take your family to by the Emory School of Medicine class of 2011. And among her most important honors, the doctor who would take care of your grandmother by the class of 2013. She has served on multiple committees, including the United States Cutaneous Lymphoma Consortium, the American Society of Hematology, the Ethics Committee at the Columbia Medical Center and Johns Hopkins Hospital, and the Lymphoma Research Foundation's Lymphoma Awareness Multicultural Population Advisory Committee. We honor Dr. Lekowitz today as Emory's Exemplary Teacher of the Year in recognition of her exceptional teaching and its impact on the improvement of cancer treatments. Dr. Mary Jo Lekowitz, you are an example to us all of the academic eminence that drives global breakthroughs to positively impact humanity. Please accept Emory University's sincere congratulations.
The Thomas Jefferson Award is Emory's premier recognition for service to the university by a member of the faculty or administration. To present this award, I call on Vice President and Secretary of the University, Allison Dykes. As Vice President Dykes comes forward, would previous winners of the Thomas Jefferson Award please stand to be recognized?
Thank you, Madam President. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2019 Thomas Jefferson Award to Jagdish Sheth, Charles H. Kelstadt Chair in Marketing in the Goizueta Business School. It would be difficult to overstate the impact of Dr. Sheth, a fixture on campus for more than 25 years. Dr. Philip Kotler, the much-respected marketing author, consultant, and current distinguished professor of international marketing at the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University, has called Dr. Sheth a scholar, change agent, advisor, and entrepreneur. In other words, a Renaissance man. Truer words could not be spoken. Dr. Sheth has been on the leading edge of breakthrough research and has deep knowledge of numerous marketing subdisciplines, including consumer psychology, relationship marketing, international marketing, and competitive strategy, as well as leadership in geopolitics. He has taught thousands of students at all levels, undergraduate, master's, and doctoral, and served as a role model and mentor to many, many more. Dr. Sheth has published more than 350 research papers and books on marketing, currently serves on the board of the World Affairs Council in Atlanta, and has served on the board of the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta. He has also advised international governments and policymakers at federal agencies, including the U.S. Department of Transportation. Beyond his impressive academic record, Dr. Sheth and his wife, Madhu Sheth, are deeply committed to philanthropic efforts that have had a tremendous positive impact on scholars, citizens, and organizations across the globe. Through the Sheth Foundation, Dr. Sheth and his wife have provided academic scholarship support, particularly among doctoral students, and the Sheth Family Foundation supports local and global charities as well as cultural and social activities of Indian NGOs. His Emory career has seen numerous highlights, among them as a university distinguished lecturer, the Marion Creekmore Award for Internationalization, and the Goizueta Business School's Global Innovation Award. Dr. Sheth, it is my distinct pleasure to present you today with the 2019 Emory University Thomas Jefferson Award, and to thank you on behalf of the university for your legacy of teaching and giving. Congratulations, Dr. Sheth.
It's now my privilege to present Robert C. Goddard III, Chair of the Emory's Board of Trustees, to authorize the conferral of degrees.
Good morning. President Stark, esteemed members of the university faculty, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the trustees of Emory University, I take great pleasure in accepting the recommendations of the President and the faculties of Emory University. Madam President, as Chair of the Board of Trustees, I authorize you to confer degrees upon the 2019 graduates, together with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's probably the most important moment of the occasion so far. This morning, we are honored to have on this platform 3 special guests in the areas of healthcare, philanthropy, and civic leadership. You will find brief biographies of these eminent individuals on pages 6 and 7 of your programs. Before we confer the degrees in course, it's our privilege this morning to present Emory's highest honor, the doctoral degree honoris causa. Dean Linda McCauley, will you present our first honored guest?
I have the honor to place the name of Patricia Flatley Brennan in candidacy to receive the degree of Doctor of Science.
Patricia Flatley Brennan, nursing innovator, data engineering entrepreneur, and healthcare pioneer. As director of the National Library of Medicine, you oversee the world's largest biomedical library and the producer of digital information services used by scientists, health professionals, and members of the public worldwide. That's a really big job, in case you didn't get that. You have bridged the worlds of nursing and engineering, pioneering the development of information systems for patients. You developed an electronic network designed to reduce isolation and to improve self-care among home care patients, directed a web-based information and communication service that helps home-dwelling cardiac patients recover faster, and directed an initiative designed to stimulate the next generation of personal health records. You have given back to your profession, serving as past president of the American Medical Informatics Association and as a member of the National Academy of Medicine, as well as a fellow of the American Academy of Nursing, the American College of Medical Informatics, and the New York Academy of Medicine. For your many contributions to the field of nursing, we confer on you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Dean Michael Elliott, will you present our second honored guest?
Madam President, I have the distinct honor to present to you Helene D. Gale to receive the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Helene D. Gale, champion of female empowerment, public health leader, and community advocate. As leader of the Chicago Community Trust, you guide and inspire philanthropic efforts that improve the quality of life in the Chicago area. At CARE, your leadership promoted international human welfare. At the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, you advanced understanding of HIV/AIDS and other global issues. Your impact extends through service on boards and membership with organizations focused on education, development, and change. Over the decades of your career, you've made an impact of the largest proportion. Your experience in global and domestic public health issues, poverty alleviation, gender equality, and social justice has positively affected millions of lives around the world. For your leadership and global thinking, for your many contributions to global development and humanitarian and health issues, we confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. It is now my utmost honor to present our third honored guest. Ambassador Young, would you join me at the lectern? Normally, this time is reserved to present honorary degrees, but Ambassador Young was here with us in 1991 to receive an honorary degree. So today we are most proud to bestow yet another honor on him, the Emory President's Medal. Today, Ambassador Young joins the company of highly esteemed individuals who received this medal. Ambassador Young, civil rights icon, humanitarian and global diplomat. You helped the United States live up to its founding ideals. As a leader of the civil rights movement, organizing voter registration drives and working with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to teach nonviolence tactics and to change hearts and minds, not only in the South, but across the nation. You helped usher in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. In 1972, you became the first African American to represent Georgia in the US Congress since Reconstruction. You pioneered again when appointed by President Jimmy Carter in 1977 as the first Black American to serve as a UN ambassador, where you articulated a US international policy grounded in human rights. Twice elected mayor of Atlanta, you presided over a period of stunning economic expansion and the development of the city's new international airport, and helped bring the 1996 Olympic Games to Atlanta. Not content to rest on your laurels, you served as founding chair of the Southern Africa Enterprise Development Fund at the request of President Bill Clinton, co-founded Good Works International, and created the Andrew Young Foundation, which works to develop the next generation of humanitarian leaders to champion sustainable global approaches to alleviating poverty and hunger and expanding economic development. For working to change the course of history and for fundamentally altering the lives of people in Atlanta, the South, the nation, and the world, we honor you with the President's Medal. Should we put it up there? Congratulations. Do you want me to put it up there? I'll get out of your way.
Thank you very much. This is a beautiful morning, and you are the products of a wonderful education. You represent the love, the concern, the savings, the dedication of the generations that went before you. And so we always ought to start a graduation by thanking those who prayed and paid that we might receive these wonderful degrees. Let's give our parents, our cousins, our friends, our husbands and wives, all of those who made this day possible in your lives. Now, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that you've completed a certain stage of your career and your education. The bad news, well, I shouldn't say that for you. It was not true. Maybe it's not true for you. But it was 68 years ago that I received my bachelor's degree from Howard University. And the only thing I could think of was, I got this paper, but I don't know nothing. What am I going to do with it? It won't get me a job. I mean, maybe it'll get me a job, maybe this, maybe that, but graduation left me with a huge question mark. In fact, the days leading up to my graduation and the days afterwards were probably the most miserable time in my life. I hope it's not true for you, but it's not bad if it is. Because when you realize what there is left to do, and that this education, as wonderful as it is, only scratches the surface of the world in which we live. And where do we go from here? I was in utter despair. And I started running. It was segregated then, so you couldn't drive from Washington back to New Orleans without stopping. And we stopped at a church conference in North Carolina, at the foot of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. I wasn't interested in the church. My parents wanted to stop there. But I went out for a run. And I started running and running too fast and slightly downhill. And then I started uphill, and I still wouldn't slow down. I was pushing myself to utter exhaustion. And when I got to the top of Kings Mountain in 1951, I could hardly breathe. But it was a moment of me of terrible frustration until I caught my breath and opened my eyes. And I opened my eyes, and all of a sudden I saw a blue sky like this one. I saw trees like those around. I saw fields of corn. And I saw an earth in which everything seemed to have purpose. And it suddenly hit me. Whoever made heaven and earth, wherever all of this beauty and creativity has come from, he couldn't have left me out. There's something there for me too. In fact, I could not conceive a creator that would create a generation like this that did not each have a special, specific divine purpose. The New Testament says that the Spirit of God, the Spirit of the Creator, the kingdom of God is within you. And for the first time in my life, that made sense. Yes, you are, and I am, and we all are a part of a spiritual universe for which we don't fully understand, which we're just beginning to reach into. The mysteries of our lives far outweigh the burdens and the challenges and the successes that we have achieved. Life remains a mystery. And you who are in the medical sciences know that every day. But you who are teachers know that. You who are marketers realize that marketing may be the way that the Creator has ordained that the hungry might be fed, and the naked might be clothed, and the sick might be healed. Did they teach you that marketing might be Sears and Roebuck? Or marketing might be Walmart? That wherever you go in the world where goods are manufactured and distributed, that we have probably done so better in this economic order than has ever been done in the history of humankind. And that there is nothing that you do or nothing that you have learned that is not somehow a part of a sacred vocation which ultimately defines you. That you are creatures of the Spirit. And that is one of the hardest things to humble yourself down to accept. I get a lot of credit, as does Martin Luther King. We did kind of change the world in some ways, but I'm going to let you in a little secret. We really didn't know what we were doing. We had no idea how this country could change. But when a woman like Amelia Boynton called from Selma with no money, with no plan, with no vision, no dream, you go when someone calls. And lo and behold, in 3 months' time, the president gets a message that we didn't send, but that led to the passage of a Voting Rights Act. 3 months, no money, 25 or 30 people, a march from Selma to Montgomery that really was a mistake. It ended up on the wrong day. And if it had ended up on the day we planned, it wouldn't have happened that way, and we probably wouldn't have had a civil rights bill. There is in our utter foolishness, our foolishness to believe that we can change the world and that we can make this world livable, when we kind of let go and let God in whatever field you might find yourself. When you run to the end of the road and you're exhausted and you don't know what else to do, and you relax and let go, then something divine is liable to happen in your lives. It may be a disorderly student. It may be a dying patient. It may be the complications of this universe, which we have only begun to scratch the surface of. But whatever it is, we are more than human beings dealing with the frustrations of an earthly life. We are spiritual beings. And somehow, in the realization of the spirituality of our being, there is a power that we do not understand and maybe should not try, but that when we release ourselves to the ultimate imagination of our divinity, glorious things happen. This is perhaps as confusing a time as I have had since my 68 years. But, you know, as bad as they were back then, we went through them all. And it was one or two little things. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, from Franklin Roosevelt. A Supreme Court decision by a Supreme Court appointed by Dwight David Eisenhower. A humble, sincere, respectful message shared to the world by President James Earl Carter, one of our family. But we take for granted the fact that he served as president of this same confused, cluttered, and difficult world for 4 years and did not get any American killed in battle, and did not kill any of America in battle. And we take for granted that two old men were gathered together at Camp David, and they could reach no conclusions, and they would hardly even talk to each other. And at the end of their time, as they were getting ready to go home, President Carter gave each one of them a picture of themselves with their grandchildren. And when they saw themselves with the grandchildren and realized that they were walking away from their responsibilities and dumping the future on their grandchildren, they turned around, unpacked their bags, and in 3 days, they reached a treaty that has lasted for the last 50 years. That's not political. That's no economic pressure. That's not a military victory. There's something profoundly spiritual about that. And there will be things like that that will happen in your life. Things that you don't understand, things that have consequences far beyond your knowing. Things that generations yet unborn will look back on you and say, this is where we got our start. You have a tremendous opportunity. You have tremendous training. And you never get through training. You never get through. And most of the training you've gotten and most of the ideas that you get probably didn't come from the books that you were assigned. It probably came from the classmates you wrestled with questions late in the night. It probably came from people that you disagreed with and you didn't understand. It probably came from the challenges that life has put in your path. Those are not stumbling blocks. Those are stepping stones that will take you into a future that neither you nor I can imagine. But I think on a sunny day like this, with a wonderful group of people that surround you, with the kind of love and investment that has made in you, the kind of future that we dream for ourselves and for you. This is a great day, and you are a great people, created for just such a day as this. God has blessed you. Pass those blessings throughout His creation.
Thank you very much for that wisdom, Ambassador Young. And now we come to the conferral of degrees and course. The deans will present their candidates for degrees in the order in which the schools of the university were founded, with two exceptions. The graduate school will have pride of place at the end to connote the highest degree awarded in course, the Doctor of Philosophy degree. And the degrees awarded to this year's graduates of Oxford College were awarded 2 days ago in Oxford, Georgia. I ask Dean Douglas Hicks of Emory's Oxford College to now come forward.
Madam President,
Mr. Dean.
it gives me great pleasure to report that on Saturday, May 11th, Oxford College held its commencement ceremonies, which celebrated over 470 students who completed their AA degrees this academic year as a milestone towards their baccalaureate degree. I ask that all former graduates of Oxford College, whether you are a graduate today, faculty, staff, trustee, or in the audience, from whatever class year, to please stand and be recognized this morning.
Thank you. You may be seated. Dean Elliott, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of Emory College of Arts and Sciences please rise, and will the student marshals please come forward? Madam President,
Mr. Dean.
I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Will the candidates please rise? Madam President, these beautiful, free-thinking, creative candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for the appropriate degrees by the faculty of Emory College of Arts and Sciences.
You are the heirs to a tradition of academic apprenticeships reaching back more than 800 years. And you have proven yourself worthy of that tradition. I hereby confer your baccalaureate degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. And you may be seated. Dean Sikatmi, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the School of Medicine please rise? And will the student marshals please come forward? Madam President,
Mr. Dean.
I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Medical Science, Master of Medical Science, Doctor of Medicine, and Doctor of Physical Therapy. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for the appropriate degrees by the faculty of the School of Medicine.
Trained in the healing arts, you have demonstrated proficiency in sciences and technology that serve humanity. Shortly, you will assume responsibility for all who commit their health and lives to your knowledge. I hereby confer your medical degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. And you may be seated. Will the faculty of the Nell Hodgkin Woodruff School of Nursing please rise, and will the student marshals please come forward?
Madam President,
Madam Dean.
I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of the Bachelors of Science in Nursing, Masters of Science in Nursing, and Doctorate of Nursing Practice. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for the appropriate degrees by the faculty of the Nell Hodgkin Woodruff School of Nursing.
Your profession offers the highest commitment to care for the whole person in the midst of changing demands of healthcare. I hereby confer your nursing degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. You may be seated. Dean Love, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the Candler School of Theology please rise, and will the student marshals please come forward? Madam President,
Madam Dean.
I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Master of Religious Leadership, Master of Religion and Public Life, Master of Theological Studies, Master of Theology, Master of Divinity, Doctor of Ministry, and Doctor of Theology. Will the candidates, the remarkable candidates, please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for their respective degrees by the faculty of Candler School of Theology.
You have learned to probe spiritual mysteries, to minister to the often intractable spiritual ills that afflict individuals and society, to exercise pastoral leadership and healing discernment, and to offer a message of love, peace, joy, and hope. I hereby confer your theology degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. You may be seated. Dean Hughes, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the School of Law please rise, and the student marshals please come forward? Madam President,
Mr. Dean.
I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Juridical Science, Doctor of Law, Juris Master, Master of Laws, and Master of Comparative Law. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for their respective degrees by the faculty of the School of Law.
As civilization rests on a foundation of justice, you bear the obligation to establish justice even more firmly among us. I hereby confer your law degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Dean James, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the Roberto C. Goizueta Business School please rise, and will the student marshals please come forward? Madam President,
Madam Dean.
I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Business Analytics, and Master of Professional Accounting. In celebration of our school's 100th year, will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for their respective degrees by the faculty of the Roberto C. Goizueta Business School.
Accomplished in the language of trade, finance, and management, you are charged to go forth to accomplish the world's business with integrity and with skill, fostering greater understanding among all peoples as the commerce of nations brings us in touch with what is different and what is new. I hereby confer your business degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. And you may be seated. Dean Curran, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the Rollins School of Public Health please rise, and will the student marshals please come forward? Madam President.
Mr. Dean, sorry.
You're so cool. I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Public Health and Master of Science in Public Health. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for their respective degrees by the faculty of the Rollins School of Public Health.
As you address the endemic ills and epidemic diseases of our communities, you join men and women who have devoted their lives to making a healthier society. I hereby confer your respective degrees with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. You may be seated. Dean Tedesco, will you present your candidates for degrees and course?
Will the faculty of the James T. Laney School of Graduate Studies please rise, and will the student marshals come forward? Okay. Madam President,
Madam Dean.
I have the distinct honor to present the centennial candidates, our 100th year, for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Development Practice, and Master of Science. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and are recommended for their respective degrees by the faculty of the Laney Graduate School.
You have earned the recognition of masterful achievement as scholars or practitioners in your fields, whatever your careers may be. I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate degree with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibility. Congratulations. And you may be seated.
Madam President,
Madam Dean.
I have the additional honor to present the centennial candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed their course of study and their very fine dissertations and are recommended for their degrees by the faculty of the Laney Graduate School.
You have attained the highest degree awarded in course. I take great pride and pleasure in welcoming you to the ancient and honorable company of scholars. And I hereby confer upon each of you your doctoral degree with all appropriate rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. And you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Emory University graduates of 2019. Great congratulations to all of you. You should be feeling really good and a little scared, as we heard from our honorary speaker. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Jonathan Butler, Emory College class of 1996 and president of the Emory Alumni Association. Jonathan.
Distinguished graduates, as president of the Emory Alumni Board, I have the privilege of formally welcoming you to our ranks. While your cherished status as students may have ended all too quickly, you will all be known as Emory alumni for the rest of your lives. Today, you join a dynamic group of women and men more than 149,000 strong. With the exception of the current members of the graduating class, would all Emory alumni present today please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Now, members of the class of 2019, would you all please stand to be recognized as the newest members of Emory's distinguished alumni? Class of 2019, we hope that you, like your fellow alumni, will carry the Emory spirit forward and continue to contribute to building its future. We know that the university has imparted values as well as knowledge, and we look forward to witnessing the leadership and global impact you all will bring to the world. Wherever you go, you will always be a part of the Emory family. And no matter the journey, you will always take a little part of Emory with you. As you make your mark in the world, stay in touch, stay involved, visit often, and please let us hear from you. It is my sincere honor to welcome you as Emory alums. We wish you well, and once more, congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Jonathan. You all may be seated. Graduates, as you prepare to depart from this place for the time being, please cherish the memory of those who have worked so hard to help you on your way. Would all faculty and staff stand so that the graduates may salute you for the knowledge that you have given them and for the tremendous work that you have done. Please, faculty and staff, stand. Thank you. You may be seated. There is one more group present today that deserves a moment of recognition. Will all of the parents, grandparents, partners, spouses, and children, brothers and sisters of today's graduates please stand so that the graduates may salute you for your love, support, and guidance during their time here at Emory. Please stand. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Before we depart, I ask that the Emory's Chief University Marshal join me. Bobby, that's you. Because she deserves special recognition today. Dr. Bobby Patterson has served as Emory's Chief University Marshal since the fall of 2012. The first woman to serve in this role. And as a deputy university marshal and college faculty marshal for many years before that, all of this in support of Emory's ceremonial life. She was a most deserving 2015 recipient of the Thomas Jefferson Award for her longstanding and wide-spanning service to Emory as an administrator, professor, and alumna. I thank her for nearly 3 decades of contributions to our community inside the classroom and beyond, for helping us better understand Emory as a place, and today for her steadfast ceremonial leadership as she passes on her marshal's baton. Congratulations on an extraordinary Emory career, Bobby, and thank you, Madam Chief Marshal. Oh. Thank you. And now the time to commence has come. I mark this by quoting Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She inspired many of us during her 2018 visit to Emory. She stated, "You cannot value dreams according to the odds of their coming true. The real value is instilling within us the will to aspire. That will, wherever it finally leads, does at least move you forward. And after a time, you may recognize that the proper measure of success is not how much you have closed the distance to some far-off goal, but the quality of what you've done today. Graduates of 2019, the world needs your ideas, your passion, your optimism. Listen to the calls for action. Listen for the opportunities, including those unexpected ones. Use your Emory experience wisely so that you will deepen our understanding of humankind and our commitment to serving our world. Godspeed and congratulations to the class of 2019. And now, let's all rise to receive the benedictions.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
We stand in awe and humility, O God, our Creator, of the goodness you have given us in these graduates. You have instilled in them an insatiable curiosity about your world, your people, and your creation. This curiosity, this thirst for truth, has led them here to this place, and we are so grateful for the privileged years of friendship, of diligence and struggle, of new insight and discovery. And now, as they go from here, we ask that you would graciously continue to fill them with a deep and abiding knowledge of your love for them. And we ask that by your Spirit, they may tend to the world and help set it on the path of justice and peace. Give them open hearts to feel its pain and courage enough not to be overwhelmed by its suffering. May they taste the joy of seeing your kingdom come in every corner of this planet. Through your gracious Spirit, we ask that you bless them with patience as they explore new horizons. Bless them with humility in the face of success and abundance. Bless them with compassion for the poor, the sick, and the suffering. Bless them with generosity in the face of challenges to come. Bless them with gratitude for friends, mentors, and family who supported them through this journey. And bless us all as we share in the joy of their accomplishments. In Jesus' name, amen.
Through the virtues I have collected, by practicing the stages of the path, may all living beings find the opportunity to practice in the same way. May everyone experience the happiness of humans and gods and quickly attain enlightenment so that samsara is extinguished.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Om asoto ma sadagamaya, tamaso ma jyotiragamaya, Mrityu Mamrutagamaya. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Jai Swaminarayan.
Please continue standing for the singing of Emory's alma mater by a special commencement a cappella quintet. The lyrics are printed on the first page of your program. Please join us in singing the alma mater.
Do, do, do. In the heart of dear old Emory, where the sun doth shine, that is where our hearts are turning round old Emory's shrine. We will ever sing thy praises, sons and daughters true. Hail we now our alma mater, hail the gold and blue. Though the years around us gather, crowned with love and cheer, still the memory of old Emory grows to us more dear. We will ever sing thy praises, sons and daughters true. Hail we now our alma mater, hail the gold and blue. We will ever thy praise, sing thy praises. Hail we now our alma mater, hail the gold and blue.
Thank you so much. Would the new graduates, that sounds good, right? The new graduates of Emory College of Arts and Sciences, please be seated. Would all family and guests also please be seated as the faculty and non-college graduates march through their respective diploma ceremonies. Those ceremonies will begin at times or locations indicated on page 7 of the program, and some of those already took place. Once the graduates have departed, the gates in the seating aisles will open for those Emory College family members and friends wishing to move closer in their seats. Please allow those persons who will be leaving the quadrangle a lane in the aisles to pass by, and wait patiently until the gates are opened before slowly walking to the next seat. We have a great group of people here, and we will get this right. And now, clear the way and let the recessional begin.